Okay, here we are with another episode of Compliance in Motion today, except for we're kicking off our new series, which is a customer spotlight series for Ving. And I'm really excited to have our first guest join us today. Everybody, welcome Holly Swartz, Vice President of Hitchhiker Manufacturing. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about exactly what they do there, because it's absolutely fascinating how so many different kinds of businesses coast to coast here in the US. Holly, acting as vice president at Hitchhiker Manufacturing, an organization that's been around since 1969, Holly? Is that about right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've really helped set the standard for the mobile food and amusement industry, building customer custom concession trailers for customers coast to coast, and really have a unique way that they've just elevated this to the next level for their customers. And Holly works very closely, and she's with her team. She's involved in helping her organization implement systems that support safety, workforce training, and operational consistency across the business. And today she
Mhm.
joins us to share a bit about their experience using Ving. So we're really excited to have you today, Holly. Welcome to the Customer Spotlight on Compliance in Motion.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm real excited because, we've been using Ving now for 2 years, and it is really proven itself. I have to say, talking about my company first, it's
Yeah.
it's interesting because, like you said, we've been around for quite a long time. We are second generation. A third generation is up and coming right now. I got a 23-year-old Marine reservist son that's learning everything there is to know about this
Oh,
industry
great.
so
Yeah.
that he can be serving our customer base as well as we are. My husband and I are, co-owners here. And being a small company, we have what I call a boutique manufacturing company. And
Hmm.
it is in a unique industry. The amusement industry is fascinating. It's North America wide, Canada through the U.S.
Yep.
We deal with wonderful customers. It's all family oriented. I love that, and
Hmm.
we're family oriented. And then the way
Yeah.
we treat our employees are like being like family oriented. I call them team members, and we have like 15 employees, so it's not like we have masses. But we do a
Right.
large scale business. As far as being as broad as we are across the United States and Canada. So our niche is to make custom food concession trailers, and they're made from the ground up. So we get tires, we get axles, and we are building and fabricating everything from the ground up for what we call our high volume mobile food concession trailer. And
Hmm.
we also then get restaurant equipment that's going to produce well for our customers, and we install that. So with being a fabricator, manufacturer, having a setting with a lot of equipment out there, we want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yep.
So,
And one of the things that impressed me about your operation when I did a walkthrough, I think it was probably about a half a year ago now, time flies, is that you
yeah.
do everything right there, don't you? So you have paint, you have
Mhm.
electrical, you have all parts of the process, right?
Yes, we do. We're buying raw materials, and we're taking that raw materials and making it into something really spectacular. And,
Yeah.
when we look across the board at who's building stuff that our industry needs, there's only maybe two or three manufacturers that are making trailers that are even kind of comparable to what we are. We have taken it to the next level, safety wise. We've taken it to the next level when it comes to regulation and compliance. It's something that we set the benchmarks for, and we're real
Hmm.
proud of that. So,
Yeah. Now, before
mhm.
we get into some nuts and bolts here, I got to ask, because I know our listeners would be interested in this little factoid. Talk to us about the volume that you can produce. These aren't
Ah,
just the food trucks, listeners, these are not the food trucks you find at your local microbrew and stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about the complexity and the volume that any one of your food trailers, high production food trailers can do.
yeah, I'm glad you asked because a lot of times people say, "Oh, you make food trucks," and I'm like, "No, food trucks are on chassis, and you can get a little pop up of food trucks around, and the people that own them can make a nice little living if they can't really support their employees and stuff because for like what I'm used to seeing, um,
Hmm.
because they're low volume. And when I say low volume, they're great sandwich stops and quick. unique foods as well. But when you
Mhm.
get into the level of what our equipment is, we have trailers across the United States, and one of our customers can do a corn dog a second. And so that's just a testament to, yes, how much volume they are actually selling.
That's just
When it comes to,
mind-boggling, a corn dog a second. I mean,
it's
that is
huge.
like state fair concert
Hmm.
stuff where you just have volumes of people
Yes.
coming through.
There
Yeah,
were
yeah,
definitely, what do you want to call it, tens of thousands of people coming through a gate, and all of our customers are all competing for those guests to eat
yeah, right.
at their place. So a lot of times, people think of fair food now is more elevated than it used to be. There are very high standards in the fair industry. There's
Mhm,
innovations in their foods. It's,
mhm.
from people saying corn dog on a stick, that's 5 generations ago, that are
Yeah,
still very viable today,
right,
to now
right.
they're putting anything, making them hot Cheetos corn dog on a stick. I mean, they're just always trying
All the
to.
favorite stuff for fairs, right?
Yes, yeah, and
Yeah,
people
so
always give themselves a pass when they're eating at the fair.
of course they do. Now,
Yeah,
listeners, I'm telling you right now, words are great, but you've got to go see some of their products out there on their website, and you'll just get a really good appreciation for the visual side of what Holly just walked us through. Now, let's
yeah,
switch our gears there a bit here and spend our time talking what we have left today about Ving and how it's impacted your organization and your life. My first question for you is: was there a particular moment or challenge that like the light bulb went off that made you realize it was time to look for a better way to approach safety or compliance?
yeah. A couple things actually. Some of it is out of necessity. Ohio is where we're based, and
Mhm.
it is a BWC, workers' comp, mainly run state,
Yeah.
versus a state that has independent workers' comp insurance. So Ohio, when things are started changing on that level of the government level of how many people they have that's going to go out into the field, so to speak. I made friends with the workers' comp in the area just because I wanted to educate myself, and this was many, many years ago. And so
Mhm.
when I found out, because of my premiums paid, that there were services that they rendered, and one of them was where they would come out and do safety talks, and I
Right.
utilized that very much so in the beginning. And so once a month. They come out,
Yep.
have a really nice big safety talk. We had our OSHA programs in place, so we'd always talk about our OSHA programs, and it was real life, and you know uh, uh, examples from these specialists that were
Mhm.
from the BWC. What happened is, before COVID, or right around COVID time, they started to scale back. They didn't have as many people in the field to be able to come and do that. So we would knock it down to every other month, and then it was getting harder and harder to schedule. And yet, I wanted to keep my safety program up. I wanted to keep
Yeah.
it, and then the compliance of it is even though we're not big, all of the requirements of keeping record keeping. Was on me,
Mm.
and I have one person in the office with me as a staff, and I thought, "Okay, how can we streamline this?" And I got to see through our local chamber, give a Zoom, and
Oh,
Ving
yeah,
was
that's
featured.
yeah.
And I was very intrigued because I'm like, "That's everything I wanted right there in the nutshell, on a platform that I could see being viable for us." So,
Yeah.
I ended up reaching out to, you, and
Uh-huh.
started the process of what that would look like here at Hitchhiker. Mhm.
So really, from sustainment of your process when one
Mm.
resource went away, you were looking for a new solution. That was a good trigger. But what I also heard you sprinkle in there was that Ving became a great way for you to aggregate, track, record,
Yes.
and keep ahead. So it didn't become a huge burden for you. It was
Yes.
automation that worked towards your advantage. Did I hear that? Is that kind of where
That
you
is
were headed with that?
exactly right. One of the things that I love about it, the platform, every time I get a new employee, a snapshot of them, I upload it. I already have a database that I picked out from your software of
Uh-huh.
what we focus on, and then we put that into our monthly processes for safety, and it keeps it
Mhm.
in front of them. In the break room, I have a TV set up that every month we feature our safety topics, and then it's like the Ving topic is this, and the nice thing about it is, um, it's video based, which I think helps retain for the
Mhm.
employees. The retention's great. In between as the video speaking, there's some really great question and answers that are not taxing. They're just keeping them engaged. And by the time
Mhm.
they're done, which is anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, it could be an hour long. And they are getting that repetitive safety information
Yep.
that is exactly what the BWC wants us to do. Is just repeat, 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 and document, document, document.
Yeah, right, which
Yeah.
can be time-consuming things, and because you're running a business, you've really
Hmm.
have landed on a way to streamline through the Ving process
Absolutely.
with readily
Hmm.
available checks and balances for tracking and reporting, but content as well, and then you just kinda touched on you do some things that are 15 minutes and some things are 30 minutes, so it sounds like you're making use of our microlearning as well as our
Yes.
full courses. Talk to us a little bit about your experience with that, the variety of content or microlearning and full course?
Yeah, it makes me happy. It makes me really happy to know that that I can give them something in depth. But then when I have to come back and touch base on it, maybe before an annual year is up, I can always then use the micro learn. It's a good refresher. Again, also, it's nice because they're hitting the main points. Sometimes in a small business like myself, safety is huge and important, but yet the resources, get constraining. Ving has
Mhm.
really gave us the opportunity to continue doing something and not making it, oh, if we get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is something I can actually schedule and regimen.
Yeah, and this is, one of the things that as you know, we work with companies of all different sizes, but especially in our smaller companies, coast to coast, they have a challenge with, sticking to the process and being consistent. Has the
Mhm.
Ving platform helped you to set a structured path forward and consistency in your safety training? Talk to us a
A
little bit
hundred
about
percent.
that ongoing process, if you will. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, 100%. I have a safety team in place here, and we will meet no less than once a month. And it's nice because we go over what the process is. Like we have our safety programs, our OSHA programs are in place. We figure out which Ving program we want to use and put them in the time frame. We know our busy season. Sometimes, we're trying to make sure that we're getting the most for our guys when they're not so preoccupied.
Mhm.
So our people, they have a good response with Ving. A lot of them enjoy the fact they can do it from their phone. I mean, it's a very engaging and easy way to continue to make this a program that's viable and engaging.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because I think you have a little bit of a hybrid approach to your training where you do some things in person as a
Hmm.
team and you talk about the training and then you have them do other training on demand on their own.
Hmm.
And we refer to that as a hybrid approach because the nice thing about Ving is you can track whether they've done it in person or online in the same platform and really streamline your record keeping.
Yeah, I'm glad you
So,
said that.
yeah, go ahead.
Reason being is because when we do have opportunities to have an employer specialist from the workers' comp come out and they give their own safety talk, we have everybody signing off on that. We can upload all our sign off sheets into the Ving platform, like you said. So that hybrid works for us really well. So it doesn't have to just be video, it can be in person, and you just upload it. We can also customize it, which you have made that so nice and easy for us. You have a wonderful team that engages. If we have questions, they're really quick to get back. I've had webinars that I've done with your teams just to continue up the knowledge and any changes that Ving has to offer. So we've worked well. I feel like you're an extension of my office, and that's important to me.
Well,
Hmm.
thank you for sharing that because that is part of our core value proposition to our customers. And in this day and age where you license software online and you never talk to anybody, you just click, click, click and start
Hmm.
using it, we took a totally different approach. We tell every customer, we are an extension of your team. We are here to chat, have video calls, and we want to we want to help you use best practices that we've curated to make your life easier and to ensure your employees stay injury free, obviously.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there, it's the balance. The system has to be easy to use and streamline all of your administrative work, but it also has to be able to engage employees through course completion.
It's very nice because, I'm getting good response now after like, when you have a transition where you're starting something new, it's
Mhm.
kinda like one of those, "Ugh, oh my,"
Yeah, yeah, right.
you're gonna put a lot on us. I'm finding out as, from our feedback and over this time, that people are really glad we are still continuing to engage them in something, and they respond well to those videos and, anything they hear Ving, they like the name, all of it.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
That was a challenge to name the company about 15 years ago when we got started, but, every
Yeah.
name in the planet is taken already. But before we wrap up here today, thank you so much for your time. I have one rapid fire question for you, top of mind, just whatever comes out is good to go. In one sentence, what would you say is the biggest benefit Hitchhiker has experienced since implementing Ving?
Employee engagement has been really one of the biggest benefits. I really see how our employees respond to it, and it's a positive.
That's excellent to hear because
Right.
that's what it's really about. At the end of the day, my partner, Stephanie Hunter, and I are in this business from day one because we care about people. And it's a passion of ours to help workers out on the front lines stay safe and go home to their family, their friends, whatever they're doing outside of work and be able to perform at the same level that they would if they were at work injury free and just have a
Hmm.
good life. Work life balance as well. So,
Hmm.
Holly, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a great kickoff to our series in the Ving Customer Spotlight. And I just, throw it out there to the listeners. If you're tuned in today and you're thinking, well, boy, I sound like Holly. I sound like Holly pre-Ving. Maybe you need to kick the tires and sign up for a discovery call. We'd be happy to walk you through any type of alignment that we can bring to the table and benefits that we can help you to generate, just like Holly has experienced from her experience in using Ving. So,
Hmm.
listeners, please tune in again. And if you thought that you heard a great best practice that you'd like to share, please like and subscribe to Compliance in Motion. Holly, you have a great day, and thank you for carving some time out for the Ving team.
Thank you.